This hit goes out to you, Mr. Wick.
42 regular, wasn't it?
Yeah. And so it begins.
Everybody loses. They were all three different people all going, and like they all had a point, you know? So like that's fun about, and that fits into our Wiccan world where there are no good guys, period. There's just better bad guys. Like Wick is not a good, technically good guy. He's an assassin. He's living in this world. He just happens to have a code in this world that we feel attracted to.
We have Hiroyuki Sanada, who I worked with on 47th Ronin. He has a daughter who's working with him, and that's the incomparable Rina Sawayama. And then the antagonist of the piece, the Marquis, Bill Skarsgård. You're kind of following their stories as they're trying to get John Wick, and Kane and John Wick have a past. Tracker is kind of a younger character who's kind of outside of it, who's not an assassin, but then takes a deal to force to become an assassin, and these characters come after John, and then there's moments where we have to work together against the table. So that dynamic is a way of opening up the world. Who are these other characters that exist in this world?
I like the world. John Wick has elements of things in it that I grew up watching. It has a sensibility of a Western, of a samurai movie, of a wuxia kung fu film. It has an underworld side. It has mythology. It's got car chases, Like, what other franchise can you put 70 styles car chases, attack dogs, samurais, ninja?
Gold coins, and said, I'd like to make a reservation. It was like, whoa, okay. Well, what can that turn into? What is this other world? At the base of that, too, is Chad's belief that the more kind of ceremony that we can present with the high table is good. And so it's been cool to tap into that personally and then to put it into the art and then have that as this kind of overarching thing. And then
Keanu's physicality in these movies is staggering. The amount of stamina that is required, the amount of just sheer kind of energy to do even half of what he's required to do has got to be punishing.
The main session. And for me, it's just been awesome to work with these stunt people and just have what they shared with us was the affection that they have for the John Wick films. Because John Wick action is a little different. It's a lot. Because Chad wants reality, he wants Rex, he wants it to feel real, he wants the beautiful violence. And so do we, and so do they. But all of these people have just really taken care of me.
Very, specific style. And I wanted to honor that style. I didn't want it to become this cutty, edity, shaky cam, something suddenly different. I wanted to really live in that John Wick world. And
that style of martial arts and John Wick choreography, we were training Keanu up in that. So now we're in the fourth iteration. It has evolved, but we still have the basis going back to the team, our stunt team.
What I'm trying to express is that whole Asian culture and Western culture. Even when I'm back home, when I'm with my most comfortable environment with my colleagues, Asian filmmakers, they don't understand me as much as Chad does. And that's a compliment to him. And I told him that, throughout our dinners, I said, it's very interesting that you understand where I'm coming from. And I understand where he's coming from. Seldom you find that kind of connection.
The trick is not to try and put a suit on that doesn't fit. So there's a lot of things that, I would have loved to steal from Sergio Leone and Wong Kar-wai and Tarantino. And the genius is, not just original thought, but it's original application of thought and how you do, and you start letting it loose and you start...
I'm just impressed by how the action is captured more than anything else, I think, and just the flow of the camera movements going alongside, and it all feels very natural. You feel really part of the action. It's not relying on camera shake and too much. It's really relying on the performance of the actors, so that always struck me.
He knows me already, so he knows kind of what I like, my styles, what I can do, what I can't do. So then he asked me, hey, what about this? What about that? And there's a common co-creation because of the character that I'm playing, maybe.
Boxing, Muay Thai, fitness, and on top of that, dog training. And that was every day from 9 to 5. It was definitely a process. But thankfully for me, I am a physical person. I would consider a fit person, so it wasn't that bad. But I feel like it doesn't matter if you're a Navy SEAL, like that training is next level. But what I love about it is everybody's so passionate.
Doggy basics go. So the dog's around, here's the stunt guy's voice. We start the dog working beside them, we start the stunt guys doing something.
I had the fortune of working with him once before on Ip Man 4, and I was the bad guy in that, and he gave me a real good kicking. But if you get to do action in a John Wick movie, that's the highest accolade. This is where it's at right now. In terms of action, there is no better action movie franchise being made at this present.
Very well. Our best choreography team can only enhance him, but they're not gonna, like, he's already better than 99% of choreographers and stunt performers I know. Literally that good.
Chapter 4, you know, I say these John Wick films for Chad and I are like we prepare a meal. We're the chefs, and he's the head chef, I'm a sous chef, and then we find the ingredients, we're putting it together, and that partnership has been really fun and some of the best creative days for me.
Keanu and I discussed it ad nauseum many, many times. John Wick doesn't know he's in a movie. John Wick believes he is John Wick. And Keanu puts on the suit, he believes he is that guy. Like, that's the anchor. And the cast follows Keanu. They go, well, if he's taking it serious, I'm gonna take it serious. And then we make fun of ourselves. It's that simple. Like, that's the only true north we stay by. The rest, that goes back to Jumping the Shark and all that stuff. Like, look, if John Wick believes that could happen, it's in the movie.
Keanu is always quiet and shy, really matching for the John Wick character. John Wick has a depth, so that's why it's so believable, and then people want to support him.
Really a lot of fun stuff in store. We have new characters, new levels of action for John Wick action, the production design, the scale, the scope, a lot of big rooms, high ceilings. We're in Berlin, we're in Paris. We have amazing thespians and costume design. There's other themes that are coming back from all the different versions of all the films. So there's stuff that you can recognize, and then there's new things. We're trying to cook up a beautiful feast with multiple courses and some nice wine. So sit back, see it on the big screen, eat some popcorn, and John Wick.